A forensic accountant was reviewing bankruptcy files on a Friday afternoon when she noticed something impossible. A small family restaurant had filed for Chapter 11, claiming they owed $300,000 to their food supplier. But the math did not make sense. The restaurant only had 48 seats, and according to their tax returns, they had been averaging $12,000 a month in revenue. Yet somehow they had allegedly ordered enough food to serve a restaurant 10 times their size. The accountant, a woman named Lisa in her mid-40s, had been doing bankruptcy audits for 15 years and had seen every kind of fraud imaginable. But this felt different. The numbers were too obviously wrong, almost like someone wanted them to be noticed. She flagged the case for additional review, even though it was not required. Something in her gut told her there was more to this story. Lisa spent the weekend pulling purchase orders and delivery records from the supplier. What she found made her physically sick. The restaurant had been ordering normal amounts of food, maybe $8,000 a month, but the supplier had been billing them for 30 times that amount. Every invoice was inflated with phantom charges for products never delivered. And the pattern went back 4 years. On Monday morning, Lisa called the restaurant owners directly, a husband and wife in their 60s, who had immigrated from Lebanon 30 years ago. The wife answered, and when Lisa explained why she was calling, the woman started crying so hard she had to hand the phone to her husband. He told Lisa a story that changed everything she thought she understood about the case. 4 years earlier, their supplier had approached them with a proposition. The supplier's business was struggling and needed to show higher revenue to avoid losing a major contract with a national chain. If the restaurant would agree to accept inflated invoices and pay a small percentage of the fake amount each month, the supplier would give them a cut and everyone would benefit. The restaurant owners said no immediately. They had built their business on honesty and were not interested in any scheme. 2 weeks after they refused, the supplier started sending the inflated invoices anyway. The restaurant owners called to dispute them, but the supplier said the charges were legitimate and warned that if they did not pay, they would be reported to credit agencies and sued for breach of contract. The restaurant owners panicked and took the invoices to a lawyer, who told them it would cost more to fight the case in court than to pay what they could afford and settle. They started paying small amounts each month, hoping it would be enough to avoid being sued. But the fake charges kept accumulating, and after 4 years of bleeding money, they were forced into bankruptcy. They lost the restaurant that had put their 3 children through college and employed 12 people from their community. The husband told Lisa that they had accepted bankruptcy as punishment for not fighting harder in the beginning. They believed they deserved it for being cowards. Lisa sat at her desk after that phone call and made a decision that went far beyond her job description. She called the Federal Bureau of Investigation White-Collar Crime Division and explained what she had found. She said she suspected the supplier was running the same scam on multiple small businesses who were too scared or too poor to fight back. The agent told her they would need concrete evidence of a pattern, not just one case. Lisa spent the next 3 weeks working nights and weekends without billing anyone for her time. She pulled bankruptcy records for every small business in a 5-state region that had listed the same supplier as a major creditor. She found 37 businesses, all small family operations with fewer than 50 employees, all showing the same impossible pattern of ordering far more inventory than their size could justify. She compiled everything into a detailed report with spreadsheets showing the exact mathematical impossibility of the charges. She included interviews she had conducted with 12 business owners, who all told variations of the same story. Some had been threatened directly. Others had been told their children's immigration status would be investigated if they caused trouble. One family had their restaurant vandalized the week after they questioned an invoice. Lisa handed her report to investigators, and a full investigation was launched. 6 months later, authorities had enough evidence to arrest the supplier's owner and chief financial officer. The case went to trial, and the evidence Lisa compiled became the backbone of the prosecution. The supplier had defrauded 43 small businesses over 7 years, stealing an estimated $4 million through fake invoices and intimidation. During the trial, Lisa attended every day, even though she was not required to testify. She sat in the gallery and watched as each business owner took the stand and told their story. Many had never met each other before, but all described the same feeling. They had been targeted because they were immigrants or first-generation Americans who did not fully trust the legal system and did not know how to fight back. The supplier's owner was convicted on multiple counts of fraud, extortion, and racketeering. He was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison and ordered to pay full restitution. The order was meaningless. The money had been hidden or spent, and the businesses would likely never recover it. That was when Lisa did something no one expected. She reached out to the business owners and proposed forming a cooperative purchasing group. By pooling their orders, they could negotiate better prices with ethical suppliers and create a support system to protect one another. 13 owners agreed to try. The cooperative grew quickly. They shared legal resources, translated documents into 6 languages, and helped each other avoid predatory practices. 3 years later, the Lebanese restaurant reopened. They invited Lisa to the grand reopening and presented her with a framed photo of 48 cooperative members standing together. The husband said Lisa had saved more than their restaurant. She had restored their belief that justice could exist when someone chose to act. Lisa keeps that photo next to her license as a reminder that numbers do not just tell stories about money. They reveal who holds power and who is expected to suffer quietly. Comment numbers if justice requires reading between the lines.